and this series is meant to address that. So, this is a simultaneous broadcast on Instagram on my left and YouTube on my right. So, you're welcome. Um, this is episode 6. We've talked about different things already in episodes 1 to 5. We've talked about flogging children and how that is counterproductive. We've talked about giving our children condition for our love, withholding our love and our affection from children, and how traumatic it gets them without our knowing and the things it does to them. We've talked about avoiding the sex conversation. So many Nigerian parents are avoiding sex conversation because it's awkward, they don't know how to go about it, and a lot of things are going wrong. And then we've talked about ignoring that was 2 days ago, about ignoring the mental and emotional health of our children and thinking that our children are resilient and strong and all that. Yes, they are. But the foundation that we lay is what will determine how resilient they are. Today, I'm going to talk about one more thing that Nigerian parents need to stop. And that is this. Today's episode is going to be short, 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 straight to the point. No long stories, probably no stories at all. Dear Nigerian parents, you must stop laying double standards for your children. Double standards in parenting, stop it. Double standards is double standards is a situation whereby you're creating separate rules to apply to one thing. So there is a standard, there's a principle or policy, but it is applied in different manner to similar things. And so you create a rule at home. And that rule would apply to the children. You tell them, stop doing this. When you come back, make sure that you take your handbags, sorry, your school bags into your rooms. Do not leave your school bags littered in the lobby or in the living room or anywhere. And when you come home as mom or dad, you sit down in the living room or lounge and you drop the bag you come back with because you are the mom. That's double standards. This means that what you say is different from what you do. Double standards also occur when, for instance, you're teaching girls how to do certain things and this it's applying separately to your boys. And so you tell your girls that they should tidy up. Everywhere should look clean and all. Ensure that you learn how to clean and mop and tidy. And then your boys mess up the place and it's fine because they are boys. No, they are human first before boys. And so we're raising girls appropriately, raising our girls fantastically. They can cook, they can clean, they can do everything under the sun, on everything in the sun. And we're raising fantastic women who are going to marry boys, men, and humans that are not raised at all. We're doing it in our homes. We're raising our girls so well. We're teaching them a lot of things, a lot of life skills, survival skills that they need to know. While the girl is in the home, learning how to cook, learning how to clean, learning how to wash their clothes, keep their rooms clean, we're allowing the boys to go out and play football and play video games and do all things. So they are not learning important life skills that would help them survive. And so boys go out and their intent, all they want is to find girlfriends who can do these things for them because it's girls that know how to do. So a boy is in the university, they can't cook to save their lives. They can't even make noodles. They can't clean their things. They can't put their things together. They can't account for their things because they were not taught to do that. They were told that it is the job of their sisters to get these things done. And so they didn't learn, they didn't bother. That's double standards. and it's causing a lot of havoc. You will raise your girls, and then they can enter into families, and they are grossly unhappy. They are traumatized, they are abused because of the double standards you set at home. Double standards spread across a lot of things. You tell your child, do not allow anybody to talk down at you, to talk at you. Don't allow anybody to bully you. Don't allow anybody to insult you. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to speak up for yourself. You have to be bold. You have to have a voice. You tell all this to your children, and then you ask them to apply all that outside. Don't allow anybody. But at home, you are bullying your child. You're talking at your child. You're talking down at them. You're asking them, shut up, I'm talking, you're talking. You're asking them, keep your voice off, down, put it off, zip it. You can't talk to me while I'm talking. I talk, you listen. That's double standard. I want you to be assertive. I want you to speak up wherever it's required. I want you to ask questions. Ask people if they ask you to do something. Ask them why. Ask them why. And so they start to ask why, but you won't let it happen at home. Do you know what you're doing? You are messing up the psychological foundation of your child. You're making it impossible for them to be able to apply appropriate life rules and skills at the right times. You're making them believe and accept abuse, maltreatment, disregard, lack of consideration, because that is what you are doing when you use double standards. Dear Nigerian parents, when you set a rule in your home, let it apply across board. Do not make different rules for the first one and for others. Do not make different rules for the girls and the boys. Do not make different rules for mommy and daddy and for the children. Simple rules should apply simply. That's the rule. You need to ensure that, because when you do, whatever foundation you lay for your child based on the principles and the rules will be strong. When they go out there, or they, whether they are inside the home or they are outside, the rules will apply. Let me give you an example, because these things can be, we can consider them a bit tricky. So you have a rule that in your home, that when you finish eating, you go to the kitchen and you wash your plates. When you find some plates in the sink, do not leave them there. Wash everything up. And then someone visits your home, maybe your older brother or sister, younger brother or sister. You have children who are in their teenage age, preteen, teenage age, early teens. Late teens. All right? And this is a rule. Wash up after yourself. Leave a place better than you find it. Don't mess up a place that you find clean. In fact, if you find a place a little dirty, after you've used it, clean it up and make it clean. Make it exceptional and good enough for the next person to use. So that's a rule you have in your home. And then your cousin or your sibling has visited. So this cousin or sibling is an aunt or an uncle to your children, right? And then they finish eating. They are guests. but they stay for a long time. So when they get on the first day, everybody's generally eager to help them. But this sibling or cousin stays for a period. So they become part of your home. When they become part of your home, your rules should apply to them too. How would they apply? It's not a fight, it's not a quarrel. You explain to them, I'm sorry, in the own home, this is what we do here. And so I hope you understand. Because when the children are being taught to clean up after themselves, they go into a bathroom, they use it, they clean it up. You go into the bathroom, you use it, you clean it up. Then your sibling, your cousin, uses the bathroom every single time your teenage daughter or your late teen son goes into the bathroom. It is messed up because their uncle or their aunt just finished using it. It is messed up. And they talk about it. They say, Mom, so probably they didn't know that it's their aunt or their uncle that used. So they say, who used the bathroom? You, how did someone leave this so messed up? And they say it's auntie so 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 or uncle so so so. It passes, they clean up. Then it happens again, they clean up. They come to complain to you, you tell them, clean it up. When they do it, clean it up. Do you know what you're doing? You're telling them that these rules, these principles do not have to apply. They can be skewed whenever it suits. And so when you become a semi adult, you can forget them. They don't matter. They are not important. Because if they have to keep it, if you have to keep it, but their aunt or their uncle, who is an older person, does not have to keep it, then the rule doesn't have to be kept at all. That's double standard. How do you fix such a thing? You explain to them lovingly. When you are raising children, they need to understand that what happens in the morning would apply in the afternoon and would apply at night. If the night and the morning rules are different, they have to see reason why they are different. You need to have it logically explained out. And so it doesn't look like some people are more equal than the others. So how do you tackle such a thing when you have a guest who's staying, who's now part of your family, who is doing something that is goes contrary to what you are laying, the foundation you are laying for your children, or the lessons you are teaching your children, or the principles you're trying to cultivate as part of the values in your home? You draw the person's attention to it. You say, your younger brother, your younger sister, please, actually in our home we try to I advise the children, I teach the children to clean up after themselves, to leave a place better than they find it, if not better than they find it, at least as good as they find it. It is a principle I'm cultivating, a value I'm cultivating. So when you do this and they come, it looks as if there's something, not panning out well. It looks as if where it's a joke. So it goes contrary to our values and our principles and the foundation we're trying to lay here. This it would be nice if you can adjust. Say it calmly, explain it to them. Let them understand that the reason you have laid this foundation or this rule, I beg your pardon, is because you're trying to lay a firm foundation, a logical, a sequential, a balanced foundation for your children. Let them understand calmly. What do you do when they don't understand? And it's you have they have to go. You have to find a way. You cannot constantly allow for double standards to manifest in your home, whether perpetrated by you or by anyone else. If it is your partner, then you need to have a conversation around your parenting values, principles, and styles. All right? If you are parenting together, mom and dad, it is important as parents that you have your rules, your values, your core values, your principles that govern your home. If you do not have any, As we speak, there is need to start creating them. You cannot run without a plan, without a goal, without a map. Where are you headed? It's nowhere. For you to head somewhere, you need to know the route to where you're going. How do you determine the route? There is a direction, a map. Principles, values, and goals are maps for parenting that you have to create ahead of your parenting. But if you haven't created that ahead and you have children already, now is the time to create those rules, values, principles, and goals. They are important. When you create these things, it will make it easier for you to maintain same standard across board. You must be mindful that what you say to your children is the same as what you do. A key way to ensure that you are not setting double standards as a Nigerian parent is this: when you say something, you act it out, you lead by example. You must be a leader. Don't say and ask them to go and do it. No. Say it and show them how it is done and be consistent to how it is done. That way, you don't even have to say anything. They watch you. When they watch you, the things that children, people generally see and experience impacts them much more, much strongly, much for a longer period of time than what they hear, what you say, what you're saying. Go on, you should. When they see you do it, it's easier for them to adopt what they are seeing. So, a way of ensuring that there is one standard in your home, zero double standard as a parent, is leading by examples. Double standards also includes things as easily disregarded as lying. You want your children to be honest all the time, to speak the truth always. I'm asking you, you always lying. Why do you lie over little things? Meanwhile, they are learning from you. You're setting the bad example. How are you setting the bad example? Someone calls you over the phone. Let's say you're a mom. NK, how far now? How far? Where are you on your way yet? Where are you now? Where have you reached? I say, yes, I'm on my way. I just go into the car. I'm driving down. I'm at Ojueleba roundabout. You will soon see me. And as you say that, you jump off the bed and you quickly throw on something. You're worried. You tell child, let's go. I just told auntie I'm coming. That she would they are watching you lie. And you expect them not to tell you those small white lies and lies that can save the day. That's double standard. You've just lied to your friend. And you do that all the time. So they still stay with you as the mom. Their dad asks a question. Why did you take the children? Did you drop the children off at school this morning? Or was it the driver that took them? Say, no, I dropped them off. And then you cut eye for your daughter, your son. You shouldn't tell daddy. That is because that is going to be angry. That is going to scold. Everybody is going to be upset. So you cut eye for them. Don't tell daddy that it was the driver that dropped you. I'm the one that dropped you guys. Do you understand? We don't want daddy upset. Daddy is working on an important project right now. So we don't want him upset. We want him to be fine, right? Let's not pressure him. So don't tell him. Don't tell him that is the driver. Double standards. When the time arrives when something might go wrong, you say, mommy or daddy might be upset if I say this truth, so let me lie. You have led by example. Dear Nigerian parents, if you want to raise a child who is balanced emotionally, psychologically, mentally, spiritually, please, this is one thing You need to stop. Stop laying double standards in your home. Anything, any rule that is laid, any goal that is set, any principle or value that is established in your home will apply across board to mom, to dad, to big brother, to little sister, to the boys, to the girls, to men, to women, to cousins, to aunties, to grandma, to grandpa. Really? You might say it's how do you tell them, how do you challenge the adults? Like, how do you tell your mom or your mom-in-law or your father or your father-in-law that this is how what are you asking? It's not a fight. It's a conversation. Calm conversations fix a lot of things. Calm conversations fix a lot of things. Let me give you a personal example. Now, my son is a very chubby child. Very. He came out into this world chubby. He's still very chubby. That's his physique. Now, on the chubbiness, he's a foodie. And so, tendency is for his stomach to get to bulge out when he's had a lot to eat. I draw his attention. I say, buddy, your stomach is bulging out. You don't have to eat a lot of this at once. Why don't you eat in small, small portions? So when I put food for, I said, this food I put for you, it's a lot of food. It should be enough for you. Don't ask me for more. Now the food will be so tasty, so scrumptious, to use his words, that when he's done eating, he wants some more. And of course, he will come, my mom, can I have some more? Two things might happen. When he asks for more, because I understand the psychology of a child in measurement and size, this, it, I would give him more. What do I give him? I go to the pot, I take the dishing spoon, I take the tip of the dishing spoon and add for him in his plate. Then I'll take another tip. That's two spoons. I won't take a heaped spoonful, a heaped dishing spoon, and another heap and give him. No. I'll say, you've eaten a lot before. So let me just give you a little so that you can, wash your mouth. And I give him tip, tip. So imagine I'm using a tablespoon to dish from the pot. I'll give him 2 tablespoons extra of that food. And he's like, oh, mom, thank you. Now he might feel like he wants more, but that's need, or that desire, that want to have an extra is quenched by the fact that he actually got that extra. And I say, you can have some more of this later. Now I find out that I pay attention to what a lot of people are sensitive to right now, currently: body shaming. When you talk to people a lot about their weight, in this era where there is a lot of things hampering self-confidence, self-esteem, and such things, when you talk to people a lot about their weight, it begins to affect them psychologically, to make them feel like they are not good enough. They have to hide, they have to cower, they have to, you know, be out of view. It makes them start being so conscious. There are different ways to draw attention to that size without making them feel guilty. Talk to them about the things that they are doing that is causing them to be a certain size, for instance, overweight, and help them see that they can cut down. Not telling them, you fat, why you always fat, you always eating. No, you'll find ways to explain to the child, drawing attention to the attitude, to the actions and activities that are causing that thing that is undesirable, rather than drawing the attention to that undesirable thing, all without all the other backgrounds and foundation. So I'm aware of this, and so I draw his attention to your stomach. You're a chubby child, but your stomach is bulging, so you need to cut down on the amount of food you eat all at once. You need to learn to chew your food so that your brain gets a signal that you have had enough. When you've had enough, if you're hardly chewing, you take in a lot of food before your brain gets that signal, and so you have a constant bulge. So I do all this. Now when grandma gets on the phone, I notice the first thing grandma will say, where's my grandson? My son will come and say, let me see your stomach. Yeah, look, you're still fat. Let me see. You've forgotten what we talked about. You're still. What did that do? It so made him not want to get on the phone when grandma calls. So I'm on the phone with grandma. He's one of grandma's favorites. And then grandma said, where's my darling boy? Where is he? And he was like, Mom, no, I don't want to talk to grandma. I don't want to talk to grandma. Because grandma is going to start a body shaming. Grandma doesn't have the conversations. Grandma just goes right in. Your stomach is big. You're still adding weight. I've spoken to you. Hey, Christina. I've spoken to you. You're not listening. So what have you eaten? And so what did I do? I have a principle. Draw attention to the undesirable attitude, to the undesirable activity. Instead, hey, oh, Mr. Oboa, welcome. So rather than draw attention to this person's persona and personality, draw attention to the undesirable attitude, activity, or such stuff, and draw their attention to ways that they can change that attitude or that activity. That is the principle in my home. And grandma, my mom, was contravening that in principle every single time. And he was beginning to make him unwilling at the first instance to have conversations with her. And so it meant that that love that they usually would share, the affinity, because my son speaks amazing Igbo. And one of the ways that his Igbo became solid and concentrated was by staying and having conversations with my parents. And so that's enjoyment they have of those conversations in Igbo. They were both being denied that opportunity. And what did I do? I drew my mom's attention. I said, Mommy, I said it in Igbo and I asked her a question. Why is it that every time you're about to talk with Ifekamsu, the first thing you say to his greeting is talk about how fat he is? That's not kind. Is that the only thing you see? You don't see how handsome he is, how healthy he's looking, how happy he is. You know what you're doing? You're making it impossible, or making him reluctant to have conversations with you. That's the first thing. You're making him begin to feel so when once grandma says, yeah, he sucks in his stomach. So when he's talking to grandma, he's uncomfortable because he doesn't want grandma to talk about, even when his stomach is not bulging. He still sucks because he says grandma is still going to see. So you're making him uncomfortable. You're making him unwilling to have conversations with you. And then when other people talk about that, he feels bad. And grandma, you can still draw his attention to that without having to let it be the first thing you start with. You can still draw his attention to, you can have conversations around the things he has done that is causing his stomach to bulge without having to make it the crux of your conversation. Right? And then there's some, I had this calm conversation with my mom, and that stopped. Do they still have conversations around his weight? Well, he's in boarding school now. They don't talk as often, but they still do. My son, my very healthy son, look at you. They're still enjoying food a lot, right? You're still enjoying food. But I hope you're mindful about your stomach. It shouldn't bulge, right? Make sure you're not eating a lot at a time. Say, yes, grandma. The same conversations are happening, but in a different way and in alignment with the values and principles in my home, my own home, not grandma's home. It's my home. So if you're wondering how you should draw the attention of people, part of your other part members of the extended family that are going against the principles that you have in your home, it is calm conversations, very calm conversations. Are there people who wouldn't listen? Yes, there are. But do you stop? No, you don't. For every time it happens, draw the attention to it. For every time it happens, draw the attention to it. And it might look like nothing is happening, but you're putting chips, small chips in their own subconscious. It will amaze you that over time they will begin to unfoil and roll out those things, roll back and away those things that are going contrary to the principles and the values in your home. But you have to make sure, most importantly, that you are not chief among those who are setting the double standards in your home. You have to make sure that you, mom, you, dad, are not chief among those who are setting those double standards. I said this episode is going to be short, and that's it. Dear Nigerian parents, stop setting double standards in your home. Whatever you expect of your child, ensure that you are giving it. If you're demanding your children to respect one another, stop insulting your brother. Stop it. Don't you know he's your older brother? Or you, why are you talking to your sister like that? It's just 1 year between both of you. Stop it. But you do not respect them when you talk to them. You expect your son to respect your daughter's privacy, and your daughter to respect your son's privacy. Knock on the door to the boys' room before you enter. Don't open the door and barge in. But you, as a mom, as a dad, because of your authority as a parent, feel you can barge in without knocking. That's double standards. Stop it. When you set rules, even if the rules are not loud, even if they are silent rules, expectations that you make of your children, when you make those expectations, meet it, keep it. If you cannot keep it, do not demand it. That's double standard. Do not demand what you cannot offer to your children. If you want them to behave, to hold their shoulders high and to speak up and to, be well behaved outside, allow for the same rules to apply inside. Allow them to speak up, to be audacious and assertive when they are with you, inside and at home. That's a regular standard. Dear Nigerian parents, stop allowing double standards in your homes. Our parents did it, and we think we turned out well. No, we didn't. Most of us are dealing with a lot. Scattered standards, no life skills, or messed up life skills, or we are traumatized. We are healing from a lot. They're telling you one thing, they're doing another. They're asking you to do this, and meanwhile, you're seeing them doing something else. We didn't turn out okay with those things. There's so many things we're needing to fix. When we're in our quiet corners, we can acknowledge these things when nobody else is watching. Sometimes we don't even know. It's in our interactions with other people around us that we get to find out that we were really messed up by the kind of parenting we had. So stop saying, look how it turned out. Stop it. The ways that some of our parents parented us were even permissible, quote unquote, then, because the things that our children are having to deal with now were inexistent when we were raised, right? And so we cannot continue to apply the same tactics now where the conditions are so different. We cannot continue. So, dear Nigerian parents, one last time, stop double standards in your homes. Stop it. If you want to parent intentionally, if you want to parent children who are wholesome, who the AKA better picking, who is mentally, psychologically, emotionally balanced, who is spiritually fortified, this is one thing you must stop. Double standards. Let the standards be across board. Let it apply to high and low, mighty and small, the same. Boy, girl, mommy, daddy, the same. Set your principles, set your goals, set your values, align them. Agree with your partner, with your agree with your husband or your wife on these things. If you are not in alignment, continue to talk about it until you come in alignment, because as parents you must be a unit. You cannot parent individually. You must be a unit. If you're not a unit, the foundation will be shaky. That's it for this evening on the Dear Nigerian Parents series. I made it. Yes, this is 35:37. I'm trying to make this not too lengthy so that those who, for you, when you're online, it's easy for you to follow all through to 1 hour and 1 hour 30 minutes. But people who watch it afterwards actually most times have their attention span divided, and this is so I'm trying to concentrate all the things that need to be said on every episode into as few minutes as possible. This is the sixth episode. If you're watching the first episode of the Dear Nigerian Parent series, you need to go back. If you're on Instagram, you need to go back to down the page and find episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One's episode 1, 2, and 3 are pinned, but 4 and 5 aren't pinned. Find them. If you are a Nigerian parent, and I think you that are watching me, you are, these are things that are very important, highly important for you to know as a Nigerian parent. There are things that you are doing that you're not even paying attention to that are messing up the foundation of your parenting, the foundation of your children, causing adverse childhood experiences for your child that would mess their adulthood up. So if you're on Instagram, find the previous episodes and watch them. Now, after this is February. There are going to be 10 episodes in February, and subsequent months there are going to be 5 episodes every month. So from today until the end of February, there's going to be one episode every day to make up for the 10. Okay, this is episode 6. It means there are 4 more episodes to go. If you're on YouTube, there is the Dear Nigerian Parent series folder. Find it. You're going to find the videos on my page, on my channel, on YouTube. You're going to find a folder that has the Dear Nigerian Parent series under the Children Nurturer series. You're going to find a folder for the Dear Nigerian Parent series. Or you can watch this video as you're watching now and scroll back. You're going to find the previous videos. Make sure that on YouTube you're subscribing to this channel, because when the next episode comes up, you would want to watch it. You want to know that this is coming up. There are also other series, the Children Nurturer series on YouTube from years back, that talk about different things about parenting that are important to ensure that you're parenting that alpha child. Different things that would help us to make our parenting game easier. So if you're also on Instagram, you might want to check me out on YouTube. O.O.N. TV7 OON TV 7340, or you can look for Omelogo Nadi on YouTube and watch the Children Nurturer series. You're going to learn a lot about parenting. A lot. There are over 50 episodes of parenting tips on my YouTube channel that you can learn from: why children lie, how to handle religion with children, things when children are throwing tantrums, what to do, how to help children become business savvy, how to explain the things that you do to your children to make them part of the family unit, to be interested in growing and to be business minded. Different things about parenting, how to help your children, focus on creativity, how to encourage the creative aspects of your children, what to do when children have different talents in your home, how to help them. A lot of tips. If your child doesn't like reading, what to do, how to get your child to create a reading culture. There are over 50 parenting topics on the Children Nurture series on YouTube. Just go find it. Or you can type the Children Nurture series, you will find it. I'm talking to those on Instagram. For those who are on YouTube, you're already here. Find it. The Children Nurture series. And if you are a Nigerian parent, find the Dear Nigerian Parent series and learn. These are things that we need to stop. Nigerians are amazing people. We're doing a wonderful job of parenting. However, there are things that shoot us in the foot, and we need to eliminate, we need to stop them so that we can raise wonderful children. These things that we do is also one of the reasons why we shut down the innovativeness of our children. And you see a child who is disinterested in life, who doesn't even want to try some of the things that we do, that shuts down the creativity in our children. And then you have a lot of adults who are roaming about looking for jobs that are inexistent when they have a lot of talents buried in them, but they are afraid to let them blossom. They have no motivation. They have no interest. It's a parenting pattern. One of the things that we need to stop as Nigerian parents. So this is it for this evening. I will see you and you and you tomorrow on the Dear Nigerian Parents series. Adios, those on Instagram. Ciao, ciao. Thank you so much for joining. I see you all. Thank you for joining. I hope this is helpful. Please remember, share this with as many Nigerian parents as possible. This needs to go far and wide to every Nigerian, any Nigerian that is parenting today needs to know this. So please share this. Copy the link, send to them. If they are not on Instagram, for those on Instagram, go on YouTube, get the link and share with them. If you look at the previous post, you're going to see the short code for my YouTube channel so that you can easily just pick it up and send to them so that they can watch this series, because this is important. We need to put Nigeria on the world map in a very loud way, and it is with our children. We need to fortify our children and make them so savvy and so world ready. And our parenting patterns need to change for us to achieve that. Dear Nigerian parents, this is important. We can do this and we should. So please share this with as many Nigerian parents as possible. And I'll see you tomorrow to have an amazing evening. Bye. Ciao. Okay. End stream and video.